Support for Donnybrook Last Call is provided in part by Design Air Heating and Cooling.
Thanks so much for joining us for Last Call, where we get to the topics that we couldn't find time for in the first 30 or so minutes. And a reminder, we have a beautiful, very cute montage of Bill giving the peace sign. It's in commemoration of his birthday, which is Wednesday. And you can find that on X, formerly known as Twitter, and our Donnybrook Facebook page. So.
I think he just called you cute for your birthday.
Well, I was just thinking to myself, I wish I knew how to, use those social media
Oh,
things. I'd look at it.
You will have plenty of help. Your grandchildren will help you.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Wendy, but the grandchildren will not be at Six Flags after what, noon? What's the new rule? 4 p.m. for kids under 15. They have to be accompanied by parents. And now in downtown St. Louis, the police department's telling us, we've had a curfew downtown for since 1997, and we're enforcing it now. So Fridays and Saturdays, I think the kids have to be off the streets by midnight. I don't know. The Galleria has limited access to kids. Where are the kids supposed to be going?
You know what? That's not the business, nor is it the problem of the city of St. Louis, the police department, Six Flags over Mid-America. It's not that. That's not their problem. If the kids are creating issues at any of these businesses, any of these malls, then I have no problem with that at all. Now, I know at Six Flags, the groups can be, I think, up to 10 or 15 kids with a chaperone who has to remain in the park. I don't think that's a hardship to ask the adult, get a turkey leg, go sit in one of the little air-conditioned restaurants, have the kids come in and check in every once in a while. But you have to. But I agree with you on the Mitch McCoy story, because we're having a lot of fun with him these days on Donnybrook. But it was, we're enforcing the laws and fighting crime, and it was like, wait, you were charged with that for a
I think City Museum has, I think even at any time, you can't just drop off kids anymore. The adult has to stay with them. As one who went to Six Flags, I think really by 16, I think that's was good enough so you could stay for the shows and all that. I don't have a problem with any of this. And you're asking, where can kids go? At midnight, they need to be home. That's where they need to be, at midnight. I mean, that's just a reality.
Six Flags is, I think, 4 p.m.
Well, I'm just saying.
Is 3.
Yeah, I'm saying downtown. But it is every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And kids' behavior today has led to this. I'm sorry. Curfew. Get off the street, get out of here. I don't care where you go, but it's not running up and down the mall.
Liability, baby. We never thought about it.
The thing is, this is not addressing some lack of proper behavior on the part of kids, really. It's lack of proper behavior on the part of parents who aren't keeping track of where their kids are. There was a curfew my whole life when I was a teenager. Now, did I violate it? All the time. But you know what it told me? If I was out after curfew, I better behave myself a little bit, because if a police officer stopped you or whatever, and you showed that you were only 15 or 16 years old, you got to ride to Clayton or downtown and have your parents come pick you up for curfew violation. So you didn't do knuckleheaded stuff, or at least, and I think that's what we have here is we're having people who are doing more obvious brazen things that are causing problems for people who paid to be there. So you put a curfew on it. My suggestion is if you don't want attention drawn to yourself for bad behavior, engage in acceptable behavior. Simple.
Can't the city or somebody come up with some location for kids to hang out in? In Paris, the kids hang out along the Seine, and they sit on the ponds, on the bridges, and it's a gathering spot. In Italy, what? The Roman, the
I've
Spanish
never
steps.
been to Italy, never been to
you need a gathering place for the kids. Since I've been here, I remember when Ron Henderson, the chief of police, took all the kids from the landing because they were causing problems for the businesses, and he put them on 6440, and he closed all the exits till Richmond Heights, so they couldn't get out in the city. I mean, how long are we going to deal with this problem?
Well, I got to go back. I got to rewind. I got a feeling, and I know it seems like in France, all the 15-year-olds are just hanging out on the Cent talking
Drinking
about art.
red wine.
We're basically they're hanging out in front of people's porches, sneaking cigarettes and trying to get someone to buy them alcohol. Same old stuff. I mean, when we were kids, I had no lack of places to go or things to do. You know, I mean, I didn't need the city to have
kids need a gathering spot.
And we found a million gathering spots. And when it was 11 o'clock or midnight,
I
went home.
That's not the city's job.
Right.
It just isn't.
I mean, they had teen night at the disco.
That's right.
We would go there.
There
Could
you go.
Imagine
Thank
having
you.
teen night at the disco now.
I give Tashara Jones some credit because she tried to have activities downtown, and I think at the Chambers Athletic Center or somewhere like that, so the kids.
Well,
could
those
hang out.
weren't very successful.
No, they
Charlie,
weren't.
when Tashara
That's
Jones invited all the kids to come
I know.
downtown.
That's because that's because I mean on the cool Richter scale. Hey, what are you doing tonight? Oh, Mayor Jones is having a mixer at the. They're not gonna
I think
go.
the kids showed up. So, not for the mixers, but I mean, with your attitudes, you guys, you may as well close the schools.
I don't think I don't think the government has to take it.
Kids can't behave. All right,
That was
next.
good, Charlie.
Bill, I want to ask you about your column on Sunday. You questioned whether middle-class seniors should be taking advantage of the state-approved property tax freeze. You know, if you're over 65, you can freeze your property taxes. Tell us your concerns about this.
Well, I just thought, and first of all, let me say up front, I applied for it. So, you know, I was writing about the class action lawsuits in which the senior citizens perhaps aren't getting enough of a cut. And I was just saying that it seems to me that the families that really need help are with young kids. And when you're raising kids, when Mary and I were raising our kids, we were often, you know, closer to the edge than we are now. I mean, we're very fortunate. Like I put, you know, I can afford to buy fresh squeezed orange juice instead of the frozen kind. But I don't think that older people are the ones that need the most help. Now, there was a letter in the paper today from Paul Lohr, who brought up the fact that, you know, yes, senior citizens get Social Security, but that's not nearly as much as our wages, and that inflation is driving the price of homes up. And he made some good points, but I still don't think that we really need to target seniors for help on the property tax.
And that is why I am leading a group of angry seniors to your house in Clayton over the weekend with torches and dogs and everything else. And obviously, I am joking. Right. I really, really am. But I laughed when I read your column. I don't think we can make any. I don't think we can generalize. I do think that I mean, being close to the edge as young couples actually kind of builds character.
I was going
hate
to
say
and
that
I was going to put like a
because-
note towards it. Yeah, you're married, you got 2 kids, you know, and maybe you're like that one spouse takes off some time, you know, like, hey, let me put it in simple terms. You're kind of broke.
Yeah.
But
that's
that
part of the
actually
deal.
is part of the deal. So you gotta overcome it like we did. And I did read it. And I thought to myself, like, hey, Carmen, I'm glad we got ours. And no icebergs are coming down the Mississippi River because I think the kids might say, there you go, Dad and Mom.
Right.
Well, and I'm sorry, but I got to say it's tough to say that you're kind of opposed to it and then you apply for it. So I mean,
Josh Hawley. Josh
I
Hawley.
put that in, and I was writing about the class action lawsuit.
Right. Well, but I mean, I think that if they write a law that says you're this age, you can apply to freeze your property tax. Look at all the years that people, once their kids cleared school, or people who never sent their kids to public school, paid property taxes to fund public schools. So you get a little break when you turn 65. I paid taxes, property taxes, to pay for public education. And not once did I avail to use it for either one of my kids.
Right.
But I happily paid it.
Well,
Right.
and
I paid
it's
it out.
like you
Because
pay taxes for the library even if you don't go to the library and
Right.
get books.
Right.
Part of the deal.
Yeah.
So you get to be a certain age and you get to freeze it, not wipe it out. You're still paying tax. You're just not using it for one big chunk of it.
Well,
but-
like I say, I think that the people who need the most help tend to be the younger people and people with kids and people who are paying tuition to send their kids to private school.
But
like
so
you
did
Joe.
we. So did we. And you know, as you said, now you're okay. I think it makes the good times, it makes them better. And I think they mean more. And I realize I'm going to get some really nasty.
No, I
mail
agree with
from
you. I know.
millennials.
I agree with you. on that. And people will probably say like, well, you were coming from a different situation or whatever. But
No, really.
But I didn't feel like, I didn't literally begrudge salary. I never begrudged senior citizens because of Social Security
Never.
when I was younger. And now that 65 is here and I'm about to kick in mine, I'm happy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I love Medicare.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Bill McClellan. Many
Happy
happy
birthday,
returns. You're going to take next week off. Have a great time in Chicago. And we hope to see everybody else next week at this time. Bye-bye.